Once the feeling is impressed deeply upon the subconscious, it goes to work to externalize it. There's a feedback, a mechanism that lets you know that you are done. The tipping point is the moment of impression, when the feeling is deep enough, vivid enough, real enough to imprint on the subconscious. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott, and today we're going deeper into imagination than we've ever gone before. I mean, truly deeper, because what most people call imagination is barely scratching the surface of what this faculty can do. Here's the thing that transformed everything for me. There's an enormous difference between thinking about something and actually inhabiting it in your imagination. Most people, when they sit down to visualize their abundance, they create a kind of movie screen in their mind. They watch themselves from the outside. They see a vague picture or nicer house or a bigger bank account. And they wonder why it fails to materialize. That's because they've never actually imagined. They were thinking, and thinking about abundance and imagining abundance are two completely different neurological events. Two completely different operations happening in two different regions of the brain. One of them changes your life, the other is just mental entertainment. So today, I'm going to teach you the difference. I'm going to give you a framework for imagination that goes far beyond anything you've ever heard in typical manifestation videos. Then we're going to put it into practice together in a guided experience that will allow you to construct from the inside a vivid, textured, reality-dense experience of your own abundance. Let me start with what happens in your brain when you truly imagine something versus when you merely think about it. This distinction is the foundation of everything that follows. When you think about an apple, your prefrontal cortex activates. It's processing a concept, an idea, a word. Apple fires, and your brain files it under fruit, red, round, and moves on. It's abstract. It's intellectual, and it has almost zero impact on your nervous system. But when you vividly imagine an apple, when you see the specific shade of crimson, feel the cool, smooth skin under your thumb, hear the sharp crack as you bite into it, taste the flood of sweetness, smell that bright, clean scent, something remarkable happens. Your visual cortex activates. Your motor cortex fires. Your gustatory cortex responds. Your olfactory processing centers light up. The same regions of your brain that would activate if you were actually holding and eating an apple become engaged during vivid imagination. This has been verified in dozens of neuroimaging studies. Researchers at Harvard, at Stanford, at Max Planck Institute, they've all confirmed the same thing. The brain processes a vividly imagined experience and a physical experience using the same neural architecture. Your nervous system at a fundamental level struggles to distinguish between a vividly imagined event and one that occurred in physical space. When you combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, you're sending your body the chemical signals of a new reality. Your cells begin responding to an environment that exists only in your imagination, but they respond to it as though it were happening right here, right now, in physical space. Your hormones shift. Your gene expression changes. Your autonomic nervous system recalibrates, all from an act of imagination. This is where it gets profound, because if your body is already living in the biochemistry of your imagined reality, then in a very real sense, the future has already arrived inside you. The outer world simply needs to catch up. Neville Goddard understood this at a level that still astonishes me. He taught that imagination is the very fabric of reality itself, that imagination is God, that when we are imagining, that is when we're communicating with God. He described it as the creative power of God, the same force that brought the universe into existence. And he said something that, if you truly absorb it, will change how you approach every imaginal act for the rest of your life. He said an awakened imagination works with a purpose. It creates and conserves the desirable and transforms or destroys the undesirable. When you imagine, you are exercising the same power that creates worlds. You are operating the same mechanism that organizes quantum fields into physical matter. The scale may seem different, but the principle is identical. Imagination is the first cause. Physical reality is the effect, always without exception. Most people have this backward. They look at their current circumstances and let those circumstances dictate what they imagine. They observe lack, and their imagination produces more lack. They observe limitation, and their imagination generates more of the same. The circumstances are creating the imagination instead of the imagination creating the circumstances. The advanced practitioner reverses this completely. You decide what you really will be, and you imagine it with such vivid conviction that your nervous system accepts it as fact. Then the physical world has to reorganize itself to match, because physical reality is always downstream from consciousness. Now let me break down what I've come to understand as the 3 levels of imaginal practice. Most people operate exclusively at the first level and wonder why their results are inconsistent. Level 1 is surface imagination. This is daydreaming. It's pleasant, it's entertaining, but it has almost zero creative power. At this level, you're watching images pass through your mind like clouds. You have minimal involvement. It's like watching a movie versus starring in it. The images are hazy, undefined, and shift constantly. You lose track of what you were imagining within seconds. Your attention wanders. This is where the vast majority of people live when they try to visualize. Level 2 is directed imagination. Here you've learned to hold a scene steady. You can maintain an image for 30 seconds, maybe a minute. You can add some sensory detail, a color here, a texture there. You're starting to participate rather than just observe. Many manifestation teachers stop here. They consider this the finish line. It's actually the starting line. Level 3 is what Neville called the state akin to sleep, or imaginal immersion. This is where everything changes. At level 3, the boundary between your imagined scene and your physical surrounding dissolves. You are so deeply absorbed in the imaginal act that if someone walked into the room, you would startle, because for those moments you had genuinely forgotten where your physical body was sitting. The imagined scene had become more vivid than the room around you. The emotions are real, the sensations in your body are real. You can feel the texture of objects in your imagined scene. You can smell, you can hear ambient sounds. The scene has dimensionality. You can look around within it. You have spatial awareness inside the imagination. This is where creation happens. This is where the bridge between the imagined and the physical collapses. Because at level 3, your brain can barely tell the difference. Your heart rate changes, your hormones shift. Your autonomic nervous system responds to the imagined environment as though it were the actual environment. The question is, how do we get there? How do you move from surface daydreaming to full imaginal immersion? Before we get to the framework, I need to address something that trips up nearly every beginner and even many experienced practitioners. The difference between imagining about something and imagining from something. I'm still continually surprised. I think that I teach this all the time. I still have people come to me today that don't understand that you have to see things from the first person. When most people try to imagine abundance, they see themselves from the outside. They watch a version of themselves walking into a beautiful home, driving a nice car, checking a bank balance. They're spectators of their own imagined life. This is third-person imagination, and it has dramatically less creative power than first-person imagination. First-person imagination means you're inside the scene, looking out through your own eyes. You see your hands in front of you. You see the room from your vantage point. You feel the ground under your feet. You are the one experiencing the scene. It is happening to you, as you, and through you. The neurological difference is staggering. Third-person imagination activates your brain's narrative centers, the same regions that process stories about other people. First-person imagination activates your experiential centers, the same regions that process your actual lived experience. When you imagine in first person, your brain processes it as autobiographical memory. It files it under things that happened to me. This is why Neville always insisted that you must see the world from the state of the wish fulfilled, never see yourself in the state. You must be the person living that reality, looking out at the world from inside that reality. The moment you step outside and observe yourself, you've downgraded from level 3 to level 1. You've turned your creative act into a daydream. So we move into the framework and eventually into meditation. Remember this, you're always inside the scene, always looking out through your own eyes, always the one feeling, touching, hearing, experiencing, never the observer, always the participant. Now here's the framework. I call it the 5 doors of imaginal entry. Most people try to enter their imagined reality through a single door, the visual door. And yes, I know many of you have difficulty in imagining or seeing pictures. That's okay. People try to see pictures, and for a surprising number of people, visual imagination is actually their weakest sense. So they struggle, they strain, they try to force a picture that feels foggy and unstable, and they assume they're bad at imagining. The truth is, they've been trying to enter through a locked door. When 4 other doors are wide open, let me walk you through all 5. First door is visual. Seeing images, colors, light, spatial relationships. If this comes naturally to you, wonderful. Use it. But here's the advanced technique. And this is critical. Instead of trying to see the whole panoramic scene, start with a single point of hyper-specific visual detail. See the grain in the wood of a desk. See the specific way light catches the edge of a glass. The exact shade of blue in the sky outside a window. One hyper-specific visual detail will anchor your entire scene more powerfully than a vague, sweeping panoramic image. The brain responds to specificity. Vagueness signals fantasy. Specificity signals reality. The second door is tactile. This is touch. For many people, perhaps most, this is the most powerful doorway into vivid imagining. Right now, without changing anything about your posture, imagine running your hand along velvet. Can you feel it? That slightly resistant softness, that specific texture? Most people can access tactile imagination more easily than visual. In your abundant scene, what are your hands touching? What's the fabric of the chair you're sitting in? What does the countertop feel like? Cool marble, warm wood, smooth granite? What does the steering wheel of your car feel like under your palms? The third door is auditory. What do you hear? I mean specific sounds, the click of your shoes on marble, the specific tone of a phone notification, the hum of an engine. The ambient sound of a space tells your brain everything it needs to know about where you are. And here's a detail most people overlook. The acoustics of a large, beautiful home sound different from the acoustics of a small apartment. Sound moves differently through spacious rooms with high ceilings. There's a subtle reverberation and openness. Your brain knows this instinctively, and when you add correct ambient acoustics to your imagined scene, the reality of that scene doubles immediately. The fourth door is the spatial-kinesthetic door. This is about your felt sense of where your body is in space within the imagined scene. Where you are standing, what direction you are facing, how high is the ceiling above you, how far away is the nearest wall, what's behind you. This spatial awareness is processed by your vestibular system and your proprioceptive system, the ancient brain systems that respond powerfully to imaginal input. When you establish clear spatial awareness in your imaginal scene, the reality of that scene multiplies dramatically. It stops being a flat image and becomes a dimensional space you're inhabiting. The fifth door is the one that Neville Goddard emphasized above all others. It's emotional. He called it the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, I think that he also implied tactile and emotion in the same breath, but Emotions go beyond seeing or hearing or touching. It's about matching the specific emotional signature of the reality you're imagining. I want you to notice something important here. The emotional tone of genuine abundance is rarely what people expect. People imagine that wealth feels exciting, ecstatic, thrilling, and maybe for the first few days or months. But the subtle emotional tone of a person who has been abundant for months, it's quiet. It's deep, settled sense of security. It's an absence of financial anxiety. It's ease, casual, relaxed relationship with money where you simply know in your bones that there's always enough, always more than enough. Capturing that specific emotional frequency is more powerful than any amount of visual detail. You can have a crystal clear image of a mansion, and if the underlying emotion is desperation or longing, it will repel the very thing you're trying to attract. But you can have a vague, barely formed image of your abundant life. And if the underlying emotion is genuine, settled peace and knowing, it will manifest with shocking speed. The feeling is the secret. The feeling is the frequency. The feeling is the signal. Another technique is adding reality texture. Think about how you experience actual reality right now. Your experience of this present moment has a certain quality to it, a density, a heaviness. Maybe you're rubbing your fingers together. You have a little bit of sweat. It's a there-ness. It feels real because it has texture. It has imperfection. It has unexpected details, ambient background noise, temperature, subtle physical sensations, the pressure of your body against whatever you're sitting on. Now think about how most people imagine. Their imaginal scenes are smooth, clean, and perfect, idealized. And because of that perfection, the brain immediately tags them as fiction. The scene looks like a glossy magazine advertisement rather than actual life. What you actually do, you deliberately add imperfection, mundane details, ordinary textures to your imaginal scene. In your imagined reality of abundance, maybe there's a water glass with a fingerprint on it sitting on the counter. Maybe the sun is in your eyes and you squint slightly. These imperfections, these boring, mundane, real-life details are what convince your deeper mind that this is an actual experience rather than a constructed fantasy. The most powerful imaginal acts feel ordinary, like Tuesday afternoon, like just another day. That's when you have reached the frequency of true possession, because people who are genuinely wealthy feel ordinary on a Tuesday afternoon. Now there's a moment in imaginal practice I call the tipping point. It's the moment when the imagined reality feels more real than the room you're sitting in, when the emotions overpower the emotions of your current state. When you hit that tipping point, something clicks into place, almost audible, like a lock engaging. It's a felt sense of done, of completion, of it is finished. Neville talked about this extensively. He said when the imaginal act feels natural at completion, often making sexual metaphors, that there's a completion to the act of imagining. The work is complete, you've planted the seed, and you're done. Joseph Murphy described the same phenomenon. Once the feeling is impressed deeply upon the subconscious, it goes to work to externalize it. There's a feedback, a mechanism that lets you know that you are done. The tipping point is the moment of impression, when the feeling is deep enough, vivid enough, real enough to imprint on the subconscious. And you'll know it when it happens because there's a distinct physiological response. Your body relaxes suddenly and deeply, your breathing shifts, there's a surge of warmth or a tingling sensation moving through your body. Some people will tear up involuntarily, that deep emotional response that comes from something feeling profoundly true. Others feel a sudden heaviness, a drowsiness. That's your body confirming the signal's been received. The impression has been made. The seed is planted. Now, the optimal time for imaginal practice is the transition between waking and sleeping. Either as you drift off at night or the first few moments of waking in the morning. These are natural level theta states. Your brain waves are already in theta. Your conscious mind's defenses are lowered. Your subconscious is wide open and receptive. This is when Neville himself did his most powerful work, lying in bed at night. constructing a single scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, looping that scene until you fell asleep inside of it. Choose one scene, just one, a simple scene. Keep it short, 5 to 10 seconds. You can go longer. I just don't want you to make it complicated. And then loop it, replay it over and over each time. Add another layer of detail, another texture, another imperfection, another sensation, another emotion. Each repetition, the scene deepens. It gains density, it gains weight. Keep doing it over and over in a loop. It begins to feel more and more like a memory and less like an exercise. Do this every single night as you fall asleep. Don't do it once. Do it over and over again until you fall asleep. And every morning when you wake, lie still for a few moments and return to the feeling, even if you skip the specific scene. The feeling is what matters most. Live in the emotional frequency of your abundant self for the first few minutes of consciousness, before the concerns and habits of the day have a chance to reassert themselves. This practice done consistently over 30 to 90 days will produce undeniable shifts in your external reality. I've seen this more than enough times. It always works, because it must work. It's how the physics of consciousness operates. Now, another technique that's very effective is the memory technique. You treat it like some memory. It's entering a different part of your brain, and also a memory is something that you don't doubt. When you are imagining something, there's a little voice that says, "This is not real, I'm imagining it." When you're looking at a memory, you have no doubt. This is something that happened. So you treat this like you're remembering something. When you imagine a future event, there's always a subtle undercurrent. Will this really happen? This single shift in framing from imagination to memory can accelerate the manifestation dramatically. It really locks it in. It reduces and eliminates all doubt. There's one more principle. It's the principle of compounding. Every imaginal session you do builds on the one before it. Your first session might feel awkward, effortful. You might struggle to hold the scene. The emotions might feel forced. The second one, the neural pathways you build are still there. The scene comes a little faster. The details a little sharper. By your 10th session, something remarkable happens. The imaginal scene feels familiar, like it's yours. Walking into the imagined kitchen feels like coming home. By the 30th session, the scene has acquired the weight and density of an actual memory. You can recall it with the same ease you recall your actual kitchen. The emotional signature of abundance has become your new normal. Your nervous system's default setting is beginning to shift. This is compounding. Each session adds to the principle. And after enough sessions, the interest starts generating its own interest. The state starts maintaining itself. You find yourself walking through your actual day with the feeling of abundance, joy, and happiness related to your imaginings without even trying, without even doing the practice, because the practice has rewritten your baseline. Your thermostat has been reset. That's when manifestation accelerates exponentially, because you're broadcasting the abundance frequency 24 hours a day instead of only during a 5-minute practice session. The first mistake is forcing visual clarity. People strain to see crystal clear HD images and they get foggy impressionistic sense. That's fine. Let me free you from this. The clarity of the visual image is the least important factor in affecting imagination. The clarity of the feeling is what matters. If you can feel your way into the state of abundance, even with your visual imagination producing only vague, soft impressions, you're doing powerful work. The second mistake is choosing a scene that's too complex. People try to imagine an entire day in their abundant life, waking up, having breakfast, driving to work, checking their portfolio, going to dinner. The third mistake is checking for evidence. People do a beautiful imaginal session and immediately start looking for evidence and then denying that it happened or worked because it doesn't fit within their desired time frame. Everything I've just taught you is preparation for what we're about to do together. We're going to move into an immersive experience now. I'm going to guide you through a process that will take you through the rest of the 5 doors of imaginal entry, and together we're going to construct a vivid, textured, reality-dense experience of your own abundance. Bring everything you've learned into this experience. Remember, specificity over vagueness, texture over perfection, ordinariness over spectacle, feeling over thinking. You're always inside the scene looking out through your own eyes. So to begin, I just want you to relax. The more relaxed you are, the better brainwave state you're in. So take a deep breath, and a long exhale will follow. Release any tension in your body. Scan your body of any emotions you're holding in it and let it go. Release any tensions in your feet and legs, your stomach, chest, and your back. Shoulders, let your shoulders down. Relax your arms. Relax your neck and all the muscles in your face. Just let go, dissolve, release everything you know, everything you are. Just become no thing for a moment. Settle in. Now notice something interesting. Even as you hear my voice, you're already imagining. You've been imagining this entire time, every concept I described during this technique. The apple, the velvet, all of it. You have been generating images and sensations in response to those words automatically. You're already doing this. You've been doing this. You simply are going to intensify it now. Focus it, direct it, give it purpose and creative power. Let's start with the tactile door. Become aware of your hands, your actual physical hands. Feel them right now. The weight of them, the temperature, the subtle pulse of blood moving through them. Now allow a different surface to begin forming under your hands, because your hands are about to be somewhere else. And as I describe this, your mind will begin constructing the reality of it. Your hands are resting on a surface. The surface is smooth, cool, solid. It might be stone, it might be polished wood, it might be marble. As your fingers explore this surface, you begin to recognize it. It's a countertop in a kitchen, your kitchen, in a home that reflects who you truly are and the abundance that has become your daily reality. Now the spatial door opens. Your awareness expands outward from your hands. You begin to sense the space around you. There's room here, generous room. The kitchen is open, expansive. The ceiling is higher than what you've been accustomed to. You can feel that openness above you, that airiness. Let your spatial awareness expand to fill the volume of this room. Notice how far away the walls are. Notice the space behind you. You have room, you have space. Now the visual door opens. Light is coming in. Windows, and the light has a specific quality. Morning light, warm, golden. Falling across the counter, across your hands, warming your skin just slightly. And beyond the windows, there's a view. Let it form. Let it arrive in its own way. It may come clear or it may come soft and impressionistic. There's a view out there that makes you feel something every time you look at it. And right now you're looking at it. There it is, that feeling, that quiet, deep, almost imperceptible feeling of rightness, of belonging, of yes. Stay with that feeling, deepen it, because that feeling is more important than any visual detail. The feeling is the frequency, the feeling is the signal your entire nervous system is broadcasting into the field right now. Now, the auditory door opens. There's a mug in your hand. You've picked it up without thinking about it, the way you do everything in the morning in this life. Coffee, tea, something warm, or something cold if that's what you drink. Feel the weight of it. Feel the warmth radiating through the ceramic into your palm. As you bring it to your lips, hear the small sound of that first sip. Hear the birds beyond the window. The quiet of a home that is peaceful and secure. Music playing maybe from another room, something beautiful at low volume. The acoustics of this space are warm. Sound moves through these rooms with richness and depth. What do you hear? Let your ears feel the texture of this reality. Now notice there's zero tension in your body about money, zero about bills, payments, and obligations. There's only this moment, this kitchen, this light. Ease, feel how easy everything has become. Simple. How uncomplicated your life is in this reality. The abundance that has arrived, and it has arrived, it's here. You're standing in the center of it right now. Simplicity, freedom, spaciousness, financial spaciousness. Where once there was tightness, there's now openness. Where once there was anxiousness, there's now flow. I want you to add reality texture. Notice the small imperfections that make this real. Maybe there's a small smudge on the counter that you'll wipe later. Maybe the sunlight is catching dust particles in the air. Maybe a slight sound from outside a car passing, a dog barking in the distance. These mundane details are your allies. They tell your subconscious, this is real. This is happening. This is life with all its glorious, ordinary texture. Now I want you to remember something, and I use the word remember deliberately. Something specific has happened in your financial life that is confirmed in tangible, undeniable terms that the shift has occurred. I want you to treat this as a memory. You're looking back on a memory where you suddenly received a vast sum of money, and you're so happy. Maybe you checked your account one morning and saw a number that made you pause. Maybe you exhale slowly, made you smile to yourself. Maybe you receive a message, an email, a call, informing you of something extraordinary, a deal that closed, an investment that multiplied beyond your projections, a business that exploded, a check that arrived for an amount that exceeded anything you had imagined. Look at this as a memory. Let that event form in your memory. Let the specifics arrive and feel the memory of it. Because this has already happened. You're remembering something real, the surprise of it, the gratitude, the deep bone-level confirmation that everything you believed, everything you practiced, everything you held in your imagination through all those months when evidence was thin, it was all valid, true. Reality responded. The universe reorganized itself, and here you are, standing in the kitchen of the proof of holding a warm mug, looking out at a beautiful morning, remembering the moment it all became undeniable. Let that realization wash through your body like warm water. Feel it in your chest, in your belly, in your throat. That mixture of gratitude and amazement, deep settled knowing, you knew this was coming. You always knew. Even when external experiences screamed something different, something inside you held the vision. Now I want you to move, add movement. Leave the kitchen, walk through your home. As you walk, feel your feet on the floor. What surface are you touching? Hardwood, cool tile, soft carpet? And as you move through this space, take in the details, the art on the walls, pieces you chose, the quality of the light fixtures. You pass a window and catch your reflection in the glass. Something has changed in how you carry yourself. A confidence, feeling of self-worth, a settled quality to your posture. The tension that used to live in your jaw or shoulders, your forehead, melts away. You look like someone who has everything they need. You look well rested, nourished, at peace, because you are. You are someone who has everything they need and more. Now go deeper, because abundance is about so much more than money. Feel how much time you have. Your schedule belongs to you. Your mornings belong to you. You have the extraordinary luxury of choosing every single day how you invest your time. There's freedom. Feel the freedom in living in your body right now. The freedom to travel on a week's notice. The freedom to say yes to experiences that call to you. Freedom to say no to anything that drains you. The freedom to invest in your passions, your curiosities, your evolution, and the freedom to be generous, lavishly, outrageously generous with the people you love. Now let's go somewhere. You leave your home, or somewhere you want to be today. Getting there is effortless. Feel yourself moving through space. You're in your vehicle, and it's beautiful. The seats feel extraordinary under you. The ride is smooth. Sound system fills the cabin with music that moves you. You arrive in this place, wherever you arrived, somewhere that your abundance has made possible. Maybe it's a beautiful restaurant where you're meeting people you love. Maybe it's a retreat center that you're investing in your own growth. Maybe it's a creative space, a studio, a workshop, an office, where you do the work that sets your soul on fire. Maybe it's an airport terminal. You're about to board a flight. Whatever it is, pick that now. Go through the memory of traveling to that spot and experiencing it vividly. Now I want you to experience something specific, a conversation. You're with someone you trust completely, a friend, a partner, family member. They've asked you how things are going, and you find yourself saying out loud with a smile, "Everything changed. I still wake up some mornings just amazed by how different my life is. I'm so grateful it happened so fast once it started, faster than I ever expected. I'm so happy now." And the person across from you smiles, and they congratulate you. They know they watched it happen. They saw you transform. Feel that conversation happening. Feel their warmth and the sound of their voice. There's a moment in this conversation where you feel a wave of gratitude. Gratitude for this life, for the teachers who showed you the way, for the mystery of consciousness. Let that gratitude flood your entire body. Let it fill your chest like warm light. Let it radiate outward from your heart into your hands, legs, feet, and crown. Let this pour through you now. Gratitude for the abundance that is already here. You have planted the seed in fertile soil. Just as you trust an acorn planted in the good earth, you would walk away from it knowing the intelligence of nature knows precisely how to grow an oak tree. You can trust this process entirely. All you need to do is maintain the state, feel this gratitude, feel the feeling of it. Return to this feeling throughout your day. Live from this frequency. And when old patterns try to pull you back into worry, into lack, into the familiar gravitational field of scarcity thinking, simply return here to this kitchen, to this light, to this warmth in your hands, to this deep, unshakable knowing. Let your body rest in this for a few more breaths, your nervous system recalibrating in real time, your emotional baseline shifting right now, the habitual thought patterns that used to dominate your inner world, the worry loops, the scarcity calculations, gone. The foundation is shifted right here, right now, in this act of imagination. It is done. Now gently in your own time, begin to let the scene soften. Become aware of your physical surroundings again. The chair beneath you, the air against your skin, the ambient sounds of wherever you are. Notice something essential. The feeling stays. Feeling belongs to you now. It lives in your body, encoded in your nervous system, imprinted in your subconscious, and it will continue to work, continue to attract, to create. The seed is planted. Throughout your day and your week, you may find this feeling surfacing at unexpected moments. A wave of quiet confidence, a sudden absence of worry, a moment of inexplicable, unreasonable knowing. When that happens, smile, because that's the seed sending up its first shoot through the soil. That's reality beginning to rearrange itself. You are abundant. You have always been abundant. You were born abundant. The only thing that has changed is the way you know it, you feel it, you've lived it. The only reality that ultimately matters, the reality of your inner world, where all things begin, it is already done. Welcome to your new life, and welcome to the reality revolution. I am so excited to finally announce our newest event, 4 days in Maui, Hawaii, the ultimate timeline shift. This is a completely new event. It's not like the other events we've done. This is 4 days instead of 3. This is an advanced workshop. We will open activating your pineal gland. We will awaken energy centers. We will do the bliss body meditation. We will meet the higher self, quantum jump into your dream life. You'll meet your future self. You will learn how to navigate this new version of you, connect to your quantum heart, remember your future. We will discuss large sums of money, love, and we will activate the new earth. This is a more advanced version of our initial workshops that we've done. We're holding the event at the Maui Westin, which I'm so excited about. I've stayed there like 6 times. It's one of my favorite hotels in Maui, right there on Kaanapali Beach. As soon as we're done, you can go out and enjoy the most amazing beach right there off the hotel. It's beautiful. The sunsets are amazing. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and it was my dream to hold an event here. And so this is going to be a very special experience. We have booked a limited number of rooms that you can get on a discount, and there is an early bird pricing at $997 for 4 days. That's amazing. So now is the time to get a ticket. I hope to see you there. I know that I've talked to many of you that are excited to come to this event. I want to combine the incredible peace and high vibration of Maui with these immersive meditative experiences into what will be the most profound transformational experience of your entire life. I can't wait to see you there. Once again, the event will be in Maui, Hawaii at the Maui Westin on May 14th through the 17th. The link is www.brianscottlive.com/May-2026.